Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time being here, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to show you how Cricut Design Space and Silhouette Studio are actually so similar if you look at them closely. So if that is something you're interested in, keep on watching. Hi guys, welcome and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you some similarities between Cricut Design Space and Silhouette Studio. Okay, so I'm going to show you how Silhouette Studio and Cricut Design Space are actually quite similar to each other. Now, I'm in the business edition of Silhouette Studio, but so my screen is going to look a little bit different from yours if you're using the free edition, but you will be able to access these same features even if you're using the free edition. So this is what it looks like in Silhouette Studio. This is what it's gonna look like in Cricut Design Space. A blank canvas will look like. Now, starting with Cricut Design Space, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a shape. So to get a shape, I'm gonna go over here where it says shapes, and I'm going to select a heart. So now this is the heart that I'm going to use. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this heart. To duplicate this heart, to make more of them, you're going to go over here where you see this plus icon, like two pages and a plus icon, and you're going to click on it. So I'm going to duplicate this about 4 times, and I'm just going to leave these right here. Okay. Now, to get this in Silhouette Studio, it's gonna be a little bit different. Now, you'll have the shapes icon over here on Cricut Design Space, but in Silhouette Studio, it's different. So right here, you're gonna go and you're gonna click on that heart. So you go over to your left, you see a bunch of different shapes that you could draw. I'm gonna click on the heart. Now in Cricut Design Space, it's already drawn for you, but in Silhouette Studio, you'll have to draw your shape. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna see this um, little icon come up on the canvas. You're just going to click on it and draw your shape, okay? Now this is what you're gonna have. Now I'm going to show you how to duplicate this. So I'm gonna just click on the text just to get the heart out of the way. And what you can do is to make this heart have a color fill inside. So to do that, I'm going to select my heart. I'm gonna go over here where you see this little grid that has no color. I'm gonna click on it, and then I'm going to click on a color that I need. I'm also going to take off the line. So I'm gonna go over here, right beside that red, and I'm gonna click on none. Now, this is what you're gonna have. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna duplicate this heart. To duplicate this heart, I'm going to right click and I'm gonna go to duplicate and I'm gonna click on it. I'm gonna duplicate it a few more times. So it's sort of different here in Silhouette Studio when you are making the shape. In Cricut Design Space, it's already made for you, so you do not have to worry about that. Now I'm just gonna put these hard to the side until I'm ready to use them. Now, the first thing I want to show you is the inset and the offset feature in Cricut Design Space and in Silhouette Studio, okay? So this is my heart that I have, and I'm going to show you how you could put an inset on this heart and how you could put an offset. To get an inset or an offset, you're gonna go over here on the right where you see this star. This is the offset panel. I'm going to click on it. When it comes up, you're going to see these two features right here, offset and internal offset, or what I call inset. To get an offset, you're going to click on it. You'll notice, let me zoom up a bit, you'll notice that there's this line that comes around it, okay? And all you need to do is press apply, okay? Now when it comes in, it's gonna be come in without a color. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go up here because you'll notice that there's no color showing, and I'm gonna click on the blue, and you'll see that the blue comes around. You'll also see that there's a red line, so you'll have to take that off. Now that is just a slight difference between the Silhouette Studio and also Cricut Design Space. Now, to get an internal offset, you're gonna click on internal offset. You'll notice also that, so I'm gonna cancel this one. So I'm gonna put an internal offset in the red heart, okay? The red heart. So I'm gonna click on the red heart. I know that my red heart is selected because up here where the fill panel is, it's showing red. And I am going to click on that internal offset. Now you cannot see anything because the outline is red. So, but you'll notice that there's no color here. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna change it to yellow. So that would be the internal offset. And I'm gonna take that line. So this is how you get an offset and an internal offset in Silhouette Studio. Now it's gonna be a little bit different in Cricut Design Space. So let's up over to Cricut Design Space, and we're going to look. We are going to um, look at what it looks like. So I'm gonna take this off, and then I'm just gonna tag it to tell you what we're doing. So I'm gonna put over here. I went to the A to write my text. I'm gonna put inset and offset. Okay. All right. So I'll know that that is what I just did. Let me go back. Okay. I wanted to make this smaller. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna change the color. There you go. So now you'll see that this is inset and this is the offset. Now let's look at how the inset and the offset looks in Cricut Design Space. So here I'm in Cricut Design Space. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this heart. So I'm gonna click on this heart. I'm gonna make it just a little bit bigger for you to see what I'm doing. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here where it says offset, and I'm gonna click on it. Now the offset is gonna default to a 0.25, a quarter inch. It's gonna look like this. Okay. When you click on it, you could use the slider, just like how I use the slider to move. This is what it's gonna look like. Okay. Now it's gonna automatically come in on a black, right? But you could go up here where it says operation, and you could change the color as you would choose. Now in Cricut Design Space, you don't have to go ahead and worry about taking the line off. Okay. Now I'm going to make an inset. So what I did, I clicked on the heart, not the blue heart, but the gray heart, and I'm gonna go over here where it says offset, and I am going to change it, right, to a negative and negative 0.25. So when you move the slider over, you'll find that it goes inside. It's now an inset. Okay, so the offset that I created, which is the blue, is a 0.25, a quarter inch offset. So it goes around the heart. Now this is an inset, which is negative now, negative 0.25. So it goes inside the heart. And I'm gonna press apply. Now when it comes, it's gonna come in black. You could change the color to a red. Now this is what it's gonna look like. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and group those because I don't want them to move. And I'm gonna go over here where it says text, and I'm gonna put inset, and this here is the, now this is the inset and the offset. Now you see how you could do it both in Silhouette Studio and Cricut Design Space. Now there are some other similarities that I want to point out to you with Silhouette Studio. So I'm gonna go back to Silhouette Studio, and I'm gonna move this away for a little bit. I'm gonna take my view down, so I'm zooming out, so you'll see this zoom up, zoom down here. In Cricut Design Space, it is a little different. I'm gonna take this off my canvas just a little bit, just because I want to show you something. Now, I'm gonna grab two hearts, okay? And I think I wanna change my colors to black. So I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna change the color. Yep. Okay, so I have two hearts here. And the first thing I want to show you, I'm gonna go over here where you see this square and a circle and they're intersecting. So this is the modify panel. I'm gonna open it up. Okay. The first thing I want to talk about is the weld feature. Okay. So here I have two hearts and I'm gonna put the red heart over the black heart. Then I'm gonna go ahead and select both hearts, and I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna show you weld. So when I weld them together, you'll notice that you can't pull the hearts away from each other anymore. It becomes one color, and now they are joined forever. The only thing that can get out of a weld is if you undo, which you press the back button here. So this is what the weld feature does. It changes the color to one color, okay? And it joins the image or the text in one single and make it one single flat image, okay? So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna write weld, okay? And every time you write a text or you make an image in Silhouette Studio, there's a red line that comes around it. All you need to do is just to take it off, okay? So I'm gonna put weld here. Then I'm gonna go to Cricut Design Space and show you what weld does. So I'm gonna take my zoom down. So this is how you zoom down. There's this little negative and positive sign at the bottom. That's how you do it. Okay, I'm gonna group this together just so that I could move it around. Now I'm going to take this heart and I'm gonna take this heart and I'm gonna change that color heart to red. Okay, and I am going to select both. Then I'm gonna go down here where it says combine, and I'm gonna go up all the way to weld, and I'm gonna show you what happens. So when I welded both of them, the same thing that happened in Silhouette Studio also happened in Cricut Design Space. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just tag this, I'm gonna put weld. Okay. So the same feature, because I know some persons are like, I would not design in Silhouette Studio because I don't understand it, but I'm just showing you that the features are basically the same. Most of them are basically the same. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this. Okay, and let's go back to Silhouette Studio. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate these hearts also so that I have enough. Okay, now the next one I want to talk about is subtract. So I have my two hearts here. Okay, I have my two hearts, and now we're in Silhouette Studio. I'm going to place the first heart on the second heart. I'm gonna change that color heart to yellow. Okay, I'm gonna select both hearts. Okay, and I'm gonna use subtract, and you're gonna see what happens when you subtract it. So if you go beside weld, you're gonna see subtract. I'm gonna press subtract. When I subtract it, the heart that was on top, which is the yellow heart, got taken away, and the piece that it overlapped also got taken away, and it left this one. Okay, so that's what the subtract feature does in Silhouette Studio. Now we are gonna look at the same feature in Cricut Design Space. Over to Cricut Design Space, we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take my heart, I'm gonna change this heart to yellow. I'm gonna put it over it or under it. So this is the gray heart is overlapping the yellow heart, and I'm gonna go here where it says combine, and I'm gonna press subtract. Now when you press subtract, the same thing happened in Cricut in Silhouette Studio. The heart that was on top, which is the gray heart, it got taken away, and it left the piece that was under it alone. Okay, so this is the subtract feature. Okay, I'm gonna group those. I don't want them to move. All right, I'm gonna duplicate this too because I want more hearts. But I want to show you a few more how similar Cricut Design Space is to Silhouette Studio. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Silhouette Studio, and I'm going to grab two more hearts. And this time we're gonna look at the we are going to look at the intersect. Okay, so I'm going to change this one to blue. Okay, and I'm going to select both of them, and I'm gonna press intersect. Now let me undo because I want to show you which one is on top and which one is on bottom. Now in this case, the blue is overlapping the red. When I intersect both of them, the only piece that is left is the part that was intersecting. Okay, the little piece that was intersecting. So let me go back. See, there's gonna be a piece right here in the red heart. That piece that was overlapping. The blue part was overlapping. That's the only piece that's gonna be left. So if I do that, this is what's gonna left. This is the intersect feature. So I'm going to tag this one in Cricut Design Space. So I'm gonna grab this heart. Okay, I'm gonna grab this one. Gonna change this one to blue. Okay, and the gray is overlapping the blue. I'm gonna click on both of them. I'm gonna go up here where it says combine. Then this is the subtract feature. The intersect, we're doing intersect. Which one did we do here? Intersect. So we're gonna go to the intersect feature and let's see what happens if the same thing happened. You notice it was just the small piece that was in the middle that was left. This is the same thing that happened here in Cricut Design Space. So it's the same feature as Silhouette Studio. Okay, so I'm going to tag that as intersect. Okay, I'm gonna group this. So we looked at insets and offsets. We looked at weld, we looked at subtract, we looked at intersect. Now we are going to look at two more, I believe. I'm gonna go back to Silhouette Studio. I'm going to duplicate this heart. And let's see what the divide does and if we could match it with something that is in Cricut Design Space. Okay, let's change this to blue. I'm putting the blue heart over the red heart. I'm going to select both of them and I'm gonna press divide. Okay, so when it's divided, now the opposite of intersect happens, okay? If I should click off and I take this out, you see that this is the piece that is intersected, right? And this here is the piece, you'll have the two parts that are left, okay? So this is this is different, or it's the opposite of what happened here. Now here in intersect, it took away the pieces that were outside and left the piece that was inside. But in this case with divide, it took out the inside, but it also left the outside. So this here is divide. Now we want to see if it matches anything in Cricut Design Space. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here. Okay. All right, so let's move on to Cricut Design Space and let's see if there's a feature there that that is the same thing as this one. Okay, so here I have my heart, here I have my other heart, and I'm going to change one of the colors to another color. Let's do blue. Okay, I'm gonna put my gray heart over my blue heart. I'm going to click on both of them. I'm gonna go here where it says combine, and I'm going to press on exclude. Okay, when you press on exclude, you will notice that the same thing happened in as the divide in Silhouette Studio. Okay, the only thing is that they took away the part that was intersected. But in Silhouette Studio, we could actually manipulate this part. You will also see that the colors of the heart in Silhouette Studio, they did not change, but in Cricut Design Space, both of them became blue. Okay, and it is also the part that that was intersecting underneath the blue part. So that is kind of cool to see. So this one here is exclude, which is the same as divide in Silhouette Studio. Exclude, this is exclude slash divide. Let's make this a little bit smaller. All right, I'm gonna group these. Okay, so let's look at one more. Let's see what happens when, let me try to move them all together. There, that side. Okay, let's see, look at one more. Let's look at crop and let's see if there's anything that is similar to that in Cricut Design Space. Okay. All right, so the red is overlapping the blue. I'm going to select both of them and I'm going to select crop. Now, what do you notice? Let me go back because I wanted to see what happened. The blue is at the bottom, the red is at the top. When I hit crop, it took away all the outside and left the inside. It's similar to intersect. It's similar to intersect because it takes away everything and it left what was inside. Okay, so this one here is crop, but is there anything in Silhouette Studio that is similar to that? Let's see if there's something in Cricut Design Space that it is the same. Let me duplicate this one. Okay. Okay. And uh, I'm going to change the color to blue. All right. Now, I believe the slice feature is the same as the crop feature in Cricut Design in Silhouette Studio. But let's see. I'm going to select both and I'm going to press slice. And I'm going to see what happens. Now, when I slice it, if we go back to Silhouette Studio, you see that this little part, when you crop it, it took away everything and left the inside. No, it is basically the same thing as this one because now I have the inside of both, and these are the outside. No, you could take these away if you want and you keep what is inside. So the crop feature works the same way as the slice feature in Cricut Design Space. Now I'm going to stop the video here. Let me put slice. Okay, so the slice and the crop feature, they work the same way, in my opinion. Um, so I know persons might be saying, I don't like working in Silhouette Studio or I don't like working in Cricut Design Space because I do not understand the features. Now, I have shown you a video how you could use both of these amazing softwares to design your make your designs, and you don't have to worry about restrictions. Now, in Cricut Design Space, there are some differences. I might just do a video on the differences between Cricut Design Space and Silhouette Studio, but they have their advantages and their disadvantages. One disadvantage that I have with Cricut Design Space is the limited space that you'll have to do a print and cut or to print a design. No, I often, when I'm doing sublimation, I often print from Silhouette Studio because Silhouette Studio gives me a little bit more leeway on how to get a bigger image. Now, let me know what you think about these two softwares. Do you like both of them? Have you tried any of them? What are your drawbacks when it comes on to these softwares? Now, if you find this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe. Turn on the post notification bell so you'll be notified each time I make a video. Until we meet again, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.